I'm Alex Peterwold, and this is my slideshow. Is the state of Florida really doing enough about texting and driving? How many times have you told your friends to stop texting and driving? Are we really doing all we can to keep Floridians safe on the roads? This probably isn't the first thing that comes to mind when we think about texting and driving. Enormous responsibilities come with car ownership and driving. Shouldn't it be the same about texting and being responsible? Did you just assume that everything's going to be just fine? Who's responsible for the personal safety of owners, even complete strangers? We hear about this a lot. It's worth the time to weigh in on the responsibilities of the danger. Take a look at the facts, and you can see the state of Florida does not do enough to keep distracted drivers from causing tragedies that are a result from texting and driving. Despite this claim, many people are not willing to refrain from texting while driving on their own, and the state of Florida can't do any more to stop distracted driving. With new technologies available, there are even more distracted drivers than ever. Distracted drivers legally referred to
cell phone users,
channel surfers,
iPhone users,
eaters,
smokers, makeup appliers,
pet owners, and anyone who is distracted for even a second. Distractions can involve visual, manual, or cognitive skills. Text messaging is the most dangerous distraction because it uses all three. The consequences for texting while driving result in
so many deadly consequences.
compare Florida laws to other states and you'll find there is much room for improvement. The current Florida texting law is limited to secondary enforcement. This means the second offense must be observed in order to stop and cite an offender. Fines are $30 to $60 plus court costs. There are DMV points against your license holders for repeat offenses. Texting in school zones and causing a crash. State Representative Rick Stark says there is a study that claims that Florida is the 6th worst state to drive in, and the major reason,
distracted driving.
so what are the existing laws in Florida that apply to this issue? Florida administers a written driving test that drivers must pass in order to drive a vehicle. And reviewing this Florida driver manual, a guide to prepare the driver for the test states that the driver's hands must be on the wheel at all times. The direct quote from the 2016 manual reads, in order to drive safely, you must be fully engaged, hands on the wheel, eyes on the road, mind on the driving. That alone would provide a reason to stop a driver. This law includes not just cell phone use, but many distracting things we shouldn't be doing. This is classified as reckless driving. That comes with stiff penalties and points. Still, there are those who insist our government continues to pass laws in a continuous attempt to take our constitutional rights away. While personal liberty concerns repeatedly have doomed distracted driving legislation in Florida, not all opponents of the texting and driving bills actually oppose the idea. Some critics, such as Senator Rick Stark, say pending law is just too watered down to make much difference on the streets. The above comment came from a Republican representative, Carol Miller, during a West Virginia committee meeting on texting while driving. There are even websites promoting rights of people for texting and driving. Some sound like infomercials while others sound absolutely ridiculous. Search results for these sites seem to change every day. Even with the laws on the books, there will always be those laws against texting and driving. But we can draw a conclusion another way that can be ignored. On one hand, Florida is not doing enough to stop the problem of distracted drivers. But taking a closer look at Florida law, we can find some nuggets of wisdom already there on the books. Florida only needs to enforce them. A video presentation at DMV on texting and driving with real-life examples and testimonials would be an excellent way to educate drivers right at the time they pass the written test and begin to drive our Florida highways. Still, a video education suggestion at DMV may run into a lot of red tape to get past as well. Is there a better technology out there? Look at cruise control and radio control we have on our steering wheels. Working with cell phone companies, auto insurance companies, and car manufacturers may hold some even better solutions and technologies to protect us. According to Joseph S. the Tampa Tribune reporter, he wrote it would be hard to enforce a law that regulates music volumes and distractions, but this doesn't make the consequences ignorable. Forbidding someone to eat while driving would never be accepted by the public. Most people have eaten as they have driven across town, making them less likely to vote for a bill that makes specific distractions illegal. Texting, on the other hand, is mostly utilized by the younger generations, according to the Pew Research Center, PEW. So adults who happen to make up the majority of the voters would be likely to ban texting. He went on to write, lawmakers need to pick their targets more carefully and focus on really pressing problems. Many people polled on Ask.com responded with the fact that texting while driving is a very convenient way to send emergency information in a very fast way. 5 seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting. When traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to cover the length of a football field. Blindfolded? In response, to signal and pull safely over on the side of the road. To eliminate all distractions would take no more than 30 seconds, which is still way faster than sending a message. In conclusion, there are still a lot of drivers that insist that unless people are willing to change on their own, there isn't anything the state of Florida can do to prevent distracted drivers. Do we have to wait until our culture finally changes so that, just like with drunk driving, distracted driving will no longer be socially acceptable? Florida, take action! The final thought to eliminate texting and driving is, although there are many things all of us can do to create a safer driving condition, education for more citizens, preferably at the DMV point of license testing, and enforcement of reckless driving laws by officers that already have stiff penalties in place, will make Florida highways safer for all of us. By Alex Wiederhold. By Alexander Wiederhold. This was done